Hello, my most amazing artists. So this is for 4th grade and we are going to be making some candle pictures. So first thing I want to do, well, let me focus first, okay, is I'm just going to kind of prep some paper for the candle part. So I just have like some scrap paper here, and I'm going to paint that, even though my water's really dirty, using green. If you do not have watercolors, then if you just want to color it green with crayons, markers, whatever you have, I want to make sure I get a nice kind of rich green color. So nice and dark, so I want to use less water, so that way my color is really dark. And I don't have to worry about getting completely to the edge of the paper because we're only going to use some of this for our candle. So I just kind of need like a good area, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to set that off to the side so it can dry. Then I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush. Whew, that water is really dirty. And the next I want to, because we have the candle flame is sort of this yellow and orangish color, I kind of want to do a little mixture of that on one side. So I've got some orange. I'm going to go over top of that with some yellow, and that's looking a little too dark for me. So I think I'll do it a little bit more down here. It's a little too orangish for what I was going for. But this down here is looking a little bit better. I like this lighter color down here. Maybe the top of the orange will be the flame. So I'm going to leave that. And then on the other part of the paper, I'm going to paint it for the candle color. So think about, what color do you want your candle? We're going to use green for the bottom part. Obviously this yellow orangish will be the flame, and then you just kind of decide what color your candle is going to be. I'm going to do red, so I'm just going to get myself a little blob of red going on. Again, if you don't have paints, feel free. Just color in some paper, use a marker, whatever you have handy. Okay, so now I have that. So I'm going to put that off to the side. Hopefully that'll dry by the time we're finished. And now I have my background. So I need to work on the background for my candle. And I want it to be really soft, the background. I'm gonna do a yellow circle sort of in the middle. This will be like, the light from the flame. I want to make it a little bit softer, so I dip my paintbrush in the water without dipping it back in the paint, so that way I get sort of like this softer glow on the outside. Kind of nervous to use the red. I don't want it to take over the yellow. Maybe if I just keep dipping it in the water. I'm also using, I'm not gonna lie, I'm using an acrylic brush. Don't tell anybody. To paint with. Another technique we haven't talked about is when you use watercolors, you can wet the paper first, and then that will also give you a softer appearance rather than just putting the paint on a drier paper. And I know what you're thinking, Miss Duell, it's starting to look like the winter scene we did in class before we left, where we did the circles in the middle and then we just kept going on and on and on all the way to the outside. This hair from my paintbrush. Okay, so we got that out, and I think I'm going to finish up the rest with some purple. I'm going to have to make that want lighter. Because remember I said I really wanted to go for a softer color. I want to make sure too that they kind of, you can see I keep going, like adding water, and where the two colors join, I sort of blend that in together. So that way you don't have like this distinct line between each of the colors. They all kind of blend in together. Oh. Say there's no, oh, let me just get some water. Okay, so background is done. Now, I want it to dry a little bit. I'm gonna move that out of the way. My green that I had painted before, for me it's still a little wet, but I'm gonna keep going because I want you to see the rest of this project. For you at home, if you're painting, I would definitely give it a while longer, an hour, 2 hours, or, you know, set it off to the side, go do something else, come back to it, because you really want it to be completely dry. So now, guess what, everybody? We're going to rip the paper. I know, we do a lot of ripping in 4th grade. You guys are probably like, what in the world? This lady does not think that we can use scissors. It's not that I don't think you can use scissors. I promise. All right, but you see how it gives us this contrast. We have like this white part now where when we rip, it wasn't painted. We want that contrast because that's what's going to make our picture interesting. So we are just ripping some strips. Doesn't have to be perfect. When your paper's drier, it'll, mine's like kind of randomly ripping here, but it'll rip a little bit easier. I would probably also have like some smaller pieces, just so you don't want anything too big. This is so green. Okay, that might be enough. Hopefully they're not too big. Okay, so because we're going to be putting this on a painted paper, you do want to use liquid glue because that holds up better on painted paper rather than glue sticks. And I'm actually just gonna kind of put a little, I'm not gonna say a little because you guys are like, Miss Duell, that's not a little bit. So some glue down here, and then I'm just going to start placing my green paper, overlapping. Just like that. Getting glue all over my fingers, but that's okay because I can wash my hands after I'm done, right? Alright, now if you have some pieces that are kind of, that you've overlapped and they're sticking up a little bit, if you want to glue them down, you can totally glue those down. And then this is just going to kind of be like the holder for our candle. Our candle's going to sit right on top of this, sort of nestled into like leaves, if you will. Okay, so we have those. You can see that. And you can kind of play around with the design a little bit. Next, remember I said I was going to use the red for my candle. So I'm going to rip, I know your favorite thing to do, a piece, sort of a rectangular piece. And I know if you rip it out and you're like, Miss Jewel, I don't have any of the white you talked about, then go along the outside so you can see that I get the white now. Then I'm ripping some of it away from the edges, and that's just kind of, you can get the white that way. And it doesn't have to be completely straight. Remember, you can do small rips just like this, have more control to get the shape that you want. All right, so get some glue on this lovely thing. And I'm going to kind of place that behind. And once you have that in, if you want to add like some more, like I need to add another little piece right there. It needs it. You can always add a few more little pieces. All right, glue bottle, don't get crazy on me. Okay. Well, okay, that'll work. And last but not least, we need our flame. So ripping, definitely want to make sort of like the flame shape. All right. So now I've got sort of this shape going on. And I just want to rip it just a little bit more to get some more white on it, and I kind of want to shape it a little bit. Did some stuff here that I'm trying to figure out, because right now it's like going in. I guess it gives it a little character. So then I can glue my flame on my candle. Maybe my glue wants to work. And voila! Now you have a very pretty candle. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.